Hello and welcome to the Paropod, episode 125. You're here with your hosts, Mark and Owen, as usual.
Yo.
We're back again. This week we have our recommended film, Jacob's Ladder, 1990 film, directed by Adrian Lyne, or Lyne, depending how you pronounce it. Never heard of him. Don't know what else he did. But Jacob's Ladder is kind of it's a fairly well-known film that we had never gotten around to seeing before. And,
yeah. It's one of those films I've had on my, to watch for ages.
Yeah, same, for years.
She did the OG, the 90s Lolita.
Yeah, he did Lolita with Jeremy Irons.
Fatal Attraction.
Deep Water. I don't know what that is.
I think I've heard of that movie.
9.5. I don't know what that is. You don't know any of the other stuff he did, but yeah, he did Jacob's Ladder, and it's a bit of it's kind of not what I expected.
No, we'll get on to that later on.
We will get on to that.
It's also not what I was expecting either.
We won't dive into that just yet. In about 45 minutes to an hour, we will get on to that. But yeah, how you been on?
I've been good. I had possibly the worst 20 minutes of my life the other day.
20 minutes?
Yeah,
wow.
It's 20 minutes where just everything went. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
Already blacked it out.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to forget. It was 20 minutes where everything that could have went wrong. So, for the listener, I'm currently doing my master's in emerging media, which is basically it's a multimedia course.
Oh.
And as part of that, we have to do soundscapes, which is like recording the sounds of an environment and shit like that. So my project was going to be doing it, or not would be, but it is, the sounds of Dublin bus.
Mm.
And part of that project, I want to record myself getting onto the bus and tapping the leap card, getting all those type of sounds. Tried it on Monday, got shit sounds, didn't sound right at all. So I was trying to redo it yesterday. Standing there, have great sounds of cars passing by, motorbike went by, a bicycle went by, sort of like ding ding, all that sort of noises. Great, perfect. The 104 is coming over. I'm like, grand, everything's right. And I forget to stick my hand out to stop the bus. So the bus just passes me by, and it took me like a solid 5 seconds to realize what had happened. And I was like, shit, not only can I not get the sound that I'm looking for, I'm going to be late for college now as well. So then I was like, right, fuck it, right. I got to run and go get the other bus. So I start bombing it down the road. I get to the other bus. I'm there kind of vaguely flustered, trying to get the fucking mic sorted. I get to the bus stop. It's due by the stage that I'm there. So the bus is coming. I'm like, oh, right, well, fuck it. I'll just get the sounds of me getting onto the bus. Bus pulls up. I get onto the bus. I reach for my leap card. I have dropped my leap card. In my flustered state to try and get the microphone right for the second time. So I just stand onto the bus and just like look around in my pockets. I fuck up the recording because of this as well. And I just have to fucking let it go. And I was like, oh well, fuck it, he's nearly at DCU anyway, so I might as well just stand here. So I just didn't tap onto the bus. Then I get off the bus, and at this stage, I'm fuming. Owen's an agitated, angry boy at this stage. So I go around the corner, and I sit down on the bench, and I compose myself. I'm like, right, check and make sure that I didn't lose anything else. So I open up the bag of all the recording shit. Everything's there. I'm like, grand, time to go to my lecture. I stand up, I grab the handle of the bag, and I forgot to zip the bag closed. So everything spills out of the bag onto the ground. People all around me. I literally just go, fuck's sake. I have to crouch down and fucking pick up everything again. I ended up cracking the Zoom microphone that I was using.
Oh.
That was still in my pocket, but the case fell out, like the protective case, and that is cracked.
It's beyond repair.
It is like the hinges.
Yeah.
One of them is just gone.
Wait, is this a loan or did you buy it?
Yeah, this is a loan.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna get a bit of a bollocking over that, but we move.
Randy, you just have to show the recordings.
I'm like, listen, bro, this is the recording.
Listen to this.
You can hear the moment that his heart breaks. And then I go up to class and I fucking sit down and I'm like, oh right, let's just fucking do this lecture. I forgot all my pens and all my pencils and shit like that as well.
You look down and you're only in your jocks.
I was literally like, if one more thing goes wrong, I'm just dropping out of college. Fuck this. It was in the span of 20 minutes.
Yeah. The no pens, no
I could
books.
adjust for that.
But that's a great little like cap. That's a great capstone to the whole experience.
It was just like I was like, I tripped over, I fucking hit the ground, I got kicked on the way down, and then someone just walked over and just like sprayed a little bit of piss on my head, and that was it. The pens was the sprinkle of piss on the head.
So you just sat there listening to the lecture.
Yeah, I was taking notes on my phone. Just typing
It's your mic.
The lecturer said this. Yeah, no. Oh man, but it was one of those things where I was like, well, things happen in 3, so nothing else could go wrong today.
Exactly. Yeah. That's when you start taking chances, start taking risks.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I fucked up 3 times today. I can't fuck up a 4th.
You start answering questions in class, getting all of them wrong.
I'm like, I could walk a tightrope today and I'd be fine because nothing else could go wrong.
Please tell me you're going to include some part of those recordings. Were you recording the entire time?
No. I
wasn't.
wasn't.
You're getting onto the bus.
Yeah, I then got a better sound. I think you could actually hear in the recording. I think I might have stopped it, but I think it's at one stage you can hear the flustered like checking of pockets as I'm like, don't tell me I just lost my leave card.
It's all part of the sounds of Dublin bus, you know.
Yeah, no,
I do it all the time.
The underlying frustration of having to be on Dublin bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all part of
the
it.
dystopian nature of the Irish transport system.
Yeah, cutting through the veins of the city.
Yeah, striated lines,
Oh man,
smooth lines of flight.
Yeah, I was on buses for 3 hours on Monday. Fuck me, man.
Yeah.
No one should do that. No one should ever have to go through that.
Eamon Ryan, full of shit. No one will get on a Dublin bus for free.
No.
For fun. 3 hours.
It's only for work or to get to work.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Or to go into town, but that's a separate thing.
Totally different, yeah. That's a grand old start though. It builds character, you know.
My life doesn't have like any major, issues, but there's like constant like paper cuts.
Yeah. That's
Do you ever get that?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
It's just like
death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, literally like that. It's like small things that like are isolated and like don't in the grand scheme of things are completely fine, but in the moment you just want to put your fucking head through a wall.
And then
I mean, it's just me and my anger issues, but
oh no, 10 minutes later you're like, yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I'll get over this.
Immediately I was like, listen, I'll make for a good intro to the podcast, so it's fine.
Yeah, literally. It all pays off in the end. We can always use our toughest experiences to build upon, to learn, to be better people going forward.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That is what it's about.
Don't run for the bus.
Don't run for buses. Don't run for buses. So like today, I was walking for the bus. I was like, I ain't running for that. I'm walking. And guess what? I got on that bus from walking. So everything looking up Millhouse.
Yeah, I used to run for the Lewis every morning just because I'm like constantly late. I try to hide as much as possible. So like I try to, it's about a 6-minute walk, like a leisurely walk from my house to Lewis stop, which is just like ridiculously short. Like I have no excuse whatsoever. It's 20 minutes on Lewis to my work as well.
Just saying that with college, man.
I have, yeah, I know, yeah. I was terrible. Like I was just a fiend. And like, I think it's some kind of neurological disorder. You know, I'm not that lazy. But anyway, I have a tendency to do that. I used to run for Lewis like nearly every morning, or I speed walk towards it. Nearly get hit by cyclists on like the cycling lane going down the canal.
They'll get you as well. They ain't stopping.
They get you. But I learned to kind of adapt to that. I evolved. And I took it in my stride after a while. But there was a time, I think it was about 2 months ago, where I just stopped. I was like, I'll never run for Lewis ever again, because it was just so embarrassing. I was just doing what I usually do every single day, pelting for the Lewis, lashing rain. I'm barely awake. It's the kind of thing where like I don't remember like leaving my house. When I remember waking up, like the start of my day, I wake up and then I'm in work. I don't remember anything else. Jesus I don't remember Christ. Tapping on. I don't remember. I don't have breakfast. I don't do any of that stuff. So yeah, I was just in like autopilot mode. Ran up the stairs to get to the platform. And the Lewis had just pulled in. I was like, I know I can make it. It's like I have like it's like it's built in, you know. I can sense if it's like there's about 10 seconds leeway, I'm gonna make it. I know I'm gonna make it.
But it's got so your brain can do that real quick. It's like just snap decisions. Like, oh, I got this.
Yeah. It's like the angles, the timing, where am I?
How many people are in front of me? At the pace, the wind direction.
And I completely misjudged this one, or else I just had a really like evil Lewis driver. But I got into it, or I got up onto the platform, and I went to go into the Lewis, and like as I was going in, I was like head down. I was just focused on getting onto the thing. As I was getting on, the doors closed, and like closed like right on my head, like literally like squeezed my face, in front of a packed Lewis. And I was stuck. Like the doors, usually like if you put something in between,
Yeah.
the doors closing, they automatically open again. These doors didn't automatically. They just stayed there for like a good like 2 or 3 seconds, while I was like staring in despair, total humiliation at this cart full of commuters. And like a guy, it made it even worse. Fair play to this guy, but he tried to help me, and he came over and he grabbed the door and tried to like peel it back from my face and like push it back. And like it just didn't work, and eventually it gave, but it just like it opened a little bit and then closed again. And I was just caught standing there, literally red faced from like the pressure of the door on my head,
I would have gone home.
like staring as the Lewis like slowly drifted away with the like everyone on it just like staring at me. It's like, this idiot like laughing at me, you know. I was like, I will never run for the Lewis ever again. I haven't since. I'm off that now. I'm not about that life.
You know what you should have done is if your man comes over and is like, no, leave me like this. This is a lawsuit waiting for happening. He just takes off and just stuck there.
It was a great excuse to being late as well.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what happened to you? I was like, I got caught in the Lewis.
I literally got caught in the Lewis.
I always remember being in the underground in London, standing beside the doors, and man, the underground, when those doors shut, they fucking shut. They don't wait for anything. And this woman literally dived in as the doors shut close, which is a bit like, I hear it, like there's only like 2 minutes. It's not that fucking serious, but anyway, she dives in, boom, like fucking slams through the doors as they're closing, but her bag gets wedged.
Oh, that happened to me as well. It's so embarrassing. And you're like a baby just caught.
Like the fucking thing starts moving, so I was right beside her, so I had to like wrench open the fucking doors and slam them shut, bro. It like as soon as I opened them, they just slammed my fingers together. I was like,
oh,
like they weren't. I didn't have it like in a way that like my knuckles smashed into each other. Like I had them, slightly one above the other, so they just the doors slammed my little fingies.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, fucking London's a mean old city. Who'd have known that the Lewis would take inspiration from that?
They know that the pedestrians are better off, you know. It's just a lesson. I got a slap on the bum that time, and now I know better. Now I know not to do that again, and so does she.
I don't know if it's a slap in the bum or like you got punched in the face.
It was more like it was more like being boxed in the face, like from both sides at the same time.
You got fucking you just got double bus just try to drop you, or double bus the Lewis try to drop you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the Lewis is no joke, man.
It isn't.
It is no joke. No laughing matter, the Lewis.
It's not funny.
That is a mean public transport.
It's a machine.
It is.
It's an actual
Look
machine.
at the fucking. Ever see like Dublin bus security?
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
old fucking men or whatever. Lewis security.
Yeah. They're like
fuck that.
They're like threatening you and all. Yeah. They're all like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're like in the fucking. They're in Bosnia.
They're in
some kind of genocide. Yeah. Fucking Navy SEALs. They're like, oh, you didn't pay €1 onto the Lewis. Here's we're gonna take your house and everything you love, your family. You're gonna be in prison. Everything you know will be gone if you don't pay this €45 fine.
Yeah,
you know
we're coming for you.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Even I've seen something online that like I didn't really realize this, which also fool on me. Is that the term?
What? Shame on me.
Like not even like fool of me for not realizing that with the whole Ryan Tuberty and RTE scandal, that massive amount of people are just not paying the TV license now.
Yeah.
Like a huge amount of people aren't doing it. Fair play. Yeah, you shouldn't pay a TV license to begin with anyway. But whatever with that. I've always wanted to know like what's the build of the TV license person? You know.
Yeah. Is he threatening?
Is he threatening?
Is it a he?
I feel like they have to be. I feel like they're going to have to be slightly threatening because they are coming into your home.
But you don't have to let them in your home. So they have to be welcoming enough that you'd allow them to come in.
So, Then they show up. Then they're like one of those. Sorry, you need like I'm not. And it's like, why did you feel like we can't come in? You know. It's like they try and get you that way.
Yeah.
This is like a film that I was talking about. I'll talk about it in a bit. But there's a scene in it where someone's getting investigated by like the IRS, whatever the fuck it is.
Uh-huh.
And the person's just like, oh, do I need my lawyer? And they're like, do you feel like you need your lawyer? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's how they always get you. You know, the fuzz.
The fuzz is like, no, but I feel like I should. I haven't done anything illegal, but I feel like it's important to have my representation with me.
Yeah,
Bitch. I'm a lawyer for fucking everything.
For everything. Yeah,
I'm always there when I'm making my McDonald's orders. Fucking
the TV license inspectors at the doors. I'm gonna wait for my lawyer.
yeah, do I need my lawyer here? Oh, I'll tell you. But the movie I watched was Blackberry, the new Matt Johnson. Please tell me that's his name. That is his name, Matt Johnson. He was the guy that directed The Dirties and Operation Avalanche. Yes.
What the fuck are they?
I talked about them on the podcast before. The Dirties was the
the school shooting thing.
the school shooting one.
Yeah, I remember.
And then Operation Avalanche was the one about people faking the moon landing. And there's a found footage film about that.
Okay. I didn't remember the title, yeah, but I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so this is his third film, and this is not shot like the other ones. Like, this is not like a found footage film. It's still shot like handheld. There's a little bit of like shaky cam and stuff like that. It has Glenn Harrington from It's Always Sunny, and it has, the actor. He's the guy in Tropic Thunder who's like the kind of nerdy guy out of the bunch.
Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, is that his name?
He's in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and he's the voice of your man in How to Train Your Dragon, the main character.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's also in it. And also Matt Johnson, who plays that guy's friend. And it's about the rise and fall of the Blackberry. Because, like, I think that's such an interesting, case study, I guess. Because, like, everyone had Blackberries. And I was kind of like, whatever happened to Blackberries?
Yeah.
iPhones happened. That's what fucking killed the Blackberry. But like, I was also, because in my head I was like, yeah, people had iPhones and Blackberries at the same time, and they did, but like,
it was like a 1 year window, wasn't it?
Yeah, like as soon as the iPhone came out, like Blackberry basically fucking died. But like they were owned by like 1/3 of the market of smartphones pre-iPhone, and there was Nokia, there was Sony, there was Samsung. 1/3 of those phones was Blackberry. They were like
big.
I don't know if they were the biggest, but they were fucking huge. And what's also interesting is like the tech behind how Blackberries worked, because basically like Blackberries were made by a bunch of nerds, essentially, who had an idea for this fucking phone. Bro, they are nerds. Like, these are
a bunch of nerds, essentially.
They were a bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah.
And they designed this idea. They knew how to make the phone, but they needed funding on how to actually build the phone. And then Glenn Harrington's character is like this business savvy dude who, like, for the sake of the film, was fired, but he had met the two guys who were pitching the idea for the phone, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go, you guys don't know what the fuck yous are doing in terms of the world of business, so I'm gonna do the business side of things, and then you just do the tech side of things. So it's like this duo of this like nerdy entrepreneur that is like vaguely like OCD about like how to build this phone and like how the phone should work and stuff like that. And then you had Glenn Harrington's character, who is like basically a businessman asshole. Like,
yeah.
Like, neither character is portrayed well. Like, they're both shown for being like flawed and being like arseholes for like specific ways and stuff like that, and how the fame and fortune got to the nerdy businessman's head, essentially. And that is in comparison to his best mate, who's played by Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson's character is your man's best mate. Also a real life dude. Can't remember any of the characters' names. Don't fucking care. And he visually stays the same throughout the entire film. Like he's always wearing a headband. He's always wearing like similar kind of clothes as he was at the start of the film. Whereas the main dude, like the guy that invented BlackBerry, starts off kind of like that, but not quite like that. But becomes more Steve Jobs-esque, like in how he like portrays himself. But there's a really good scene where Glenn Harrington's character hasn't a fucking breeze about how the technical side of things work, and he ends up in front of AT&T, whoever the fuck it is. It's not AT&T, but one of the,
big telecoms company.
Big telecom company. And he explains to them, like, this is what the BlackBerry will do. It'll be your emails and phone all in one, and that's going to be your go-to device to do every form of communication. And they laugh at him, being like, you don't know what you're talking about. Some people after taking you on a swizz, like, our best people have looked at this, and it's impossible. You couldn't get, like, 8 people or 20 people on the same network. And then the nerdy guy comes in after being told don't speak, and he's like, oh, let me guess, like, this is how you did it? And they're like, yeah, it is. And it's like, oh, no, see, what you need to do is basically every BlackBerry works as a server by itself. I don't understand the full technicalities of how this stuff works, but, like, the scene that it's in, you're like, when they explain it, like, oh, I can see how that works. Yeah. Because it's like, you can connect, like, obviously with emails and internet and stuff like that, has to be to a server. But 8 devices or 12 devices at the time could connect to the server. But instead, each BlackBerry was a server that was connecting to, like, a main hub, and that's how it would work. And the tech people are like, oh, fuck, yeah, why didn't we think about this? And there's like, yeah, we get that patent on that shit, right? That's ours now, bitch. Yeah. And just like how then BlackBerry takes off. But like what's super interesting is the bit when the iPhone announcement happens. And
who plays Steve Jobs in this?
It's just Steve Jobs. Like they just have they just have that playing.
They brought him back.
Yeah, they brought him back. They fucking they defrosted him, they put him back up. And like the bit where the main dude is like, no, I invented this industry. Like smartphones started with the BlackBerry, and people got BlackBerries because there's buttons and there's that feedback, and people like the feedback. No one's gonna go for this all screen bullshit. To be fair,
that's a good point.
It is a good point,
But like
at
the time, it definitely would.
At the time, like I can see why you're thinking that.
Yeah.
But in today's world, it's like that is laughable.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Like iPhones even got rid of the fucking the one button that on the home screen button. They even got rid of that. Like,
yeah, they don't have any buttons anymore. Yeah.
That's why I like my Samsung, because there's a button on the side for the lock screen.
You're an OG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one button on the iPhone. This is about 5 years old though.
I don't know how many buttons the iPhones have. Bro, iPhones got rid of the fucking headphone jacks and shit like that. Like, just
there's none.
Yeah,
there's none.
That's a joke.
That's so annoying. Yeah, I had to like spend €30 getting an adapter. It's blatantly a scam, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the BlackBerry. What the fuck happened there?
And there's even the bit that's like how do I explain, like ominous, I guess, is the bit where when iPhone is about to come out, they're projecting all these numbers, and one of the reasons why they think it's going to fail is because it's like, you can't have, like, how is it going to cost so little and stuff like that for the AT&T companies and stuff like that. And Glenn Harrington's character rings up the other dude and is like, I know how they're doing it. They're not selling minutes, they're going to sell data. And like, oh, like, and
that's like, it's like like on a like bass drop moment.
Yeah, but like that's in a bit where like he drops that info to the dude, but that's in the bit where they're getting investigated by the IRS and stuff like that. So like, he drops that bomb in like a scene where there's loads of tension, and like it's not like dwelled on, but as the audience, you're just like, oh fuck, it started back then. And now, because like when you think about like selling data, like that's everywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
But they were doing it back then as well. Just like they didn't have the data the extensive data that they have now. But it's just like that little nuggets of information is like, oh, so that's how AT&T and stuff like that were willing to take iPhones, because like we're not going to sell you minutes and stuff like that and people's text messages, because also with BlackBerry everything was encrypted.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why one of the guys got off from the IRS, is because all of his emails and messages were encrypted in a BlackBerry, so they couldn't get to them.
Oh yeah, so he got off.
He got
because of
off
that.
from they committed fraud, and he got off with it because they had no evidence that he actually did it because everything was in Blackberry and it was encrypted.
Yeah. I'd say especially the American government probably preferred, the Apple model.
It's like full access. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just let us. So we'll back you as long as you let us, see everything. Basically.
Once we see under the hood, everything's good.
Yeah. There we go. Famous words. That's kind of cool. The retroactively, or like a retrospective, like building up of mechanics that obviously are like part of everyday life now, but which most people don't understand at all. Like obviously, I've no pre, so any of that stuff works. Like the servers, the networks, the data towers, like 8 phones to a server back in early 2000s.
2005, 6.
Yeah, how the fuck?
8,
What does that even mean? I don't
when
even
the
know.
first iPhone? 2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is like 2004, 5. Stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like how does that just I don't even know what those words mean, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like bizarrely low tech and like so far in the past. But obviously it's not in the past. Everyone remembers
like
Blackberries.
it's literally 20 years ago. Like
yeah.
Another like really cool bit is when a guy comes to him and is like, I'm gonna buy your company, we're gonna invest it, and we're gonna move everything offshore into China and stuff like that. And the main dude, played by
Jay Baruchel,
he doesn't want that because it's like there's too much. We don't want the BlackBerry to be part of the noise. We want it to be like there's a bit where he's in at the very start of the film. He's in an office and you hear this buzzing noise, and he's like, the buzzing noise is from his pager or whatever the fuck it is, and it's causing this buzz because it was made in China by people that didn't care because they were just mass producing stuff. And he's like, I don't want BlackBerry to be like that. I want it to be like American made by people that give a shit. And we literally can't make some
of the parts.
No, like we can't make millions of these because there's literally not enough storage in the networks for this. Like the data like just isn't there. So there's a bit where a guy comes in and he's like, I'm going to buy your company and we're going to ship it off. And Glenn Harrington and Jay Baruchel are pissed over this. One, because he's taking his company, and two, because he wants to ship it off to China, and he insults Glenn Harrington's character. So he's like, here's what we're going to do. How do we fix the problem that we can only have 500,000 Blackberries? And the issue is that like there's literally not enough storage in the data. So, or the servers even. And so what they have to do is take the best people from Google, from Microsoft, from Sony, stuff like that, and get these engineers to help fix the problem. So in order to do that, you need cash. Where do you get the cash? We need to sell as many Blackberries as possible, even though they might not be able to work properly. And Blackberry had a crash for at one stage. See, the problem with this film as well is like I'm not entirely sure the time frame of how everything lines up. So at one stage, Blackberry had a crash where like essentially a third of their users, their phones just weren't working because they couldn't connect to the servers, and then they had to like rejig how the servers were working and quadruple it and stuff like that. And then it's like, we can now take more phones because we fixed the server problem. And it's just like it's interesting shit like that where like it's explained to you in very basic terms. And like, I can see how that would cause such a problem and how it limited BlackBerry. But once you fix that problem, you could sell more phones. And then the stock market went up, which stopped the hostile takeover. I'm all about the hostile takeovers now because I'm in Succession as well. I'm like, I know this. I've heard this term before.
Glenn Harrington was the second choice for Kendall.
Do you know what else his second choice for?
What?
He was second choice for Guardians of the Galaxy main character.
I can see both.
His name?
Star-Lord, yeah.
Star-Lord, yeah.
I can't really see him in Guardians of the Galaxy, to be honest.
I can't see
He's
that.
not goofy enough.
I can see him as Kendall.
I can see, he'd be great as Kendall. Like,
oh man, you watch this film, you're like, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bit where he's like, it's a bit where he comes into the like shitty fucking nerd den where they're like building the phones, and he sets up his office, and he's trying to ring out, and it can connect because someone's on the internet, and he just walks in. He's like, "Get off the fucking internet!" And it's some fucking dude playing like World of Warcraft or some shit. And I could just see him play Glenn Harrington. I could see him playing Glenn Harrington really well. I could see him playing Kendall Roy really well.
Yeah.
Having said that, like, guy that plays Kendall,
Jeremy Strong.
oh Dom, like, he's just perfect.
He is a beast.
He is perfect.
But I think Glenn Harrington has the visuals. You know,
I think
he looks like that kind of guy.
Yeah, but I think he'd be more like Jeremy Strong. I was gonna say Irons, so that's not his name. Jeremy Strong plays like sympathetic and like can play like soft really well.
True.
Glenn Harrington plays like vaguely untinged really fucking well. Vaguely untinged, vaguely unhinged, I think. But anyway. Yeah, like, he's so good, and everyone's fucking great in the movie.
Would you say it's like one of those Oscar movies?
Is
it that good, or is this the kind of film that would have, if it came out with like alongside Jobs, remember all that stuff? And like, remember they had like several different films which are just about fucking biopics of like tech gurus.
It feels like it should, but it's got too many like indie sensibilities for it to be like an Oscar bait film.
Yeah.
You
Well, not an Oscar bait film.
No,
but
I know what you mean.
Like a high quality prestige
like,
film. They'd be like, "Oh, this is a very important story that the world needs to hear."
No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't like that, and it's not even like the performances even lean into that. Like, cause there's like just straight up comedy in the film. Like, cause Matt Johnson's he's a bit of a goofy and there's bits where like in the film where like Glenn Harrington's getting so frustrated with the nerds, and like you fully sympathize with him, because you're sitting there watching me like, man, I would kick this fucking dude's head in. That is just so fucking irritating. Like, just cop on, stop being such a dork.
Yeah. Nerds.
Fucking Homer going show.
Yeah.
Nerds. Oh man.
No, that sounds very cool. Very interesting. I didn't know your man Matt Johnson had done it. I thought it was just kind of like one of those. I thought it was just kind of a prestige.
I think
tech.
It's
biopic.
wearing the mask of that, but it isn't. Like, it is kind of like that, but it's not. It's not as like sterile or anything like that as you would think it would be. I feel like there's two different Steve Jobs films, isn't there? There's
one with Ashton Kutcher. There's one with Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, there's Jobs, and what's the fuck is the other one called?
Steve Jobs.
Wow.
I don't know what it's called.
I think it actually is. I'm gonna look that up. But yeah, like, this is good. Like, it is a good old watch. It is. Again, like, it's not it isn't a Steve Jobs film. You know what I mean? It's not one of those films. That's Steve Jobs film. Okay, so there's Jobs, which is the Ashton Kutcher one. And then there's Steve Jobs. Yeah, you're right.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
That is.
I like the Steve Jobs one. Is just like it's just a keynote speech. Isn't it?
It's set backstage at 3 iconic product launches, and ending in 1998 with the unveiling of the iMac. Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah, like, this thing's got a much more larger scope, and says more about, like, phones.
That's the thing. No one knows how the phones work.
No one knows
how do these things work? I don't know.
Like, how do they do it?
Yeah, where's all the data from? Like, just basic stuff.
Where's it going?
Yeah, where's it go? And like, where's it stored? And what's like? I read something about like the carbon footprint of, say, watching Netflix on your phone is like immense. Like, the amount of gigabytes you spend or you expand through like an hour of streaming is equivalent to like a car trip or something like that. I read that like 2 or 3 years ago. I just ignored it because I was like, I don't need this guilt. I don't need to think about that. Yeah.
I don't need this guilt.
Like, I don't know if that's true at all, but like, obviously there is some kind of like, like cost benefit kind of thing. What's the cost?
One of my lecturers was just talking to me. I was walking in the hall, and he was saying about there is a real like, and even he was saying like it is like artsy fartsy, academic type of discussion. But what is the most not responsible way to listen to music Is it streaming? Well, if you're listening to streaming, you got to think about like the data centers and all that type of stuff. If it's through records can be recycled, but they do wear down and tear. So like you will eventually have to replace the record, and does that, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
thinking
like
about the life
thinking
cycle,
about the life cycle and like how you're consuming your media. You also got to think about like the type of wires that you're using if you're using a record player and stuff like that. It's like that's interesting. Like I don't give a fuck that much, but it is interesting.
Yeah. See, I don't care, but like that, it is an interesting thought. It's something
It's
that
an interesting thought experiment, I guess.
yeah, and it's something that we will have to care about at some stage.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing where it's like, I prefer not to think about that right now.
Yeah, I'm too busy right now. Fucking trying to watch illegal movies online. I got a deadline.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm on soap today.
What do you think is the most like the most renewable? What is the word I'm looking for?
Sustainable.
Sustainable. That's the word.
Sustainability.
Yeah.
That's my area now, man.
Yeah, that's.
I'm in college. I'm back in college, guys.
Sustainable king.
I'm a college kid.
Yeah. What do you think is the most sustainable website to use to watch illegal movies?
Sustainable website. To watch an illegal streaming.
Yeah.
Oh no, do you know the answer to this?
No, I'm just wondering what you think.
I don't know. I don't think is there any difference between
I feel like ftupmovies.com is pretty
ftupmovies.com. That's very because they're all low res and fucking
this. You're not streaming HD 4K and that.
Yeah.
You're watching 240p at most.
Yeah. That site is actually pretty good, but like the standard is fucking terrible. But maybe we don't need the standard to be so good all the time. I seen a thing about there was a remastered Trainspotting came out recently on Blu-ray or
Criterion.
Yeah, Criterion. Yeah, and someone was there was like an article online, someone complaining about the color grading on the remastering, but like
it's not as brown and shit, isn't it?
No, it's like it's more orangish rather than the film is kind of like a bit green.
Yeah,
it's kind
of sickly.
Yeah, it has a tinge, like it's like sickly green, like very light green tinge. And this person was complaining about it. But they were saying there was some response to it was saying that it's the fact that we didn't have access to like these like full scale reproductions of the actual original film reels until very, very recently, like literally in the last like few years for most films. So like the Trainspotting that everyone knows isn't necessarily the same Trainspotting that was cut on the floor of the editing room when the director signed off on it, and same with like a lot of other films.
That's like the same thing with
but people still enjoyed it, regardless of the fact that maybe it wasn't massively high quality. It's still like obviously an amazing film and a cultural touchstone, hugely influential and all that stuff. So
yeah, no, because I saw something online about like when you're watching like a fucking Charlie Chaplin film or something like that now, especially like all these old black and white films.
Yeah, they're boring.
They're boring. That's the number one problem. But the other problem is there's like grit and shit, and like you can see the scratch marks and stuff like that. That wasn't there when they were showing them. They were like full fucking like 35mm as HD as 35mm can be. You know what I mean? Like they were perfect quality. It's just literal time and wear and tear, and the reels and film that we have now aren't what they were back then. And like that is how like how you view these films now is not how they looked back then or how they sounded back then or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like think about like original scores, the films that are just lost.
Yeah.
And they don't have like is it Metropolis? Well, I know that Metropolis has like bits missing, but I'm pretty certain that they don't have the original score.
Yeah.
If like no idea what that film was meant to sound like. It's like a fucking Queen cut of that film.
Yeah, isn't it the same with Napoleon as well?
Yeah, I think so.
They don't have the score. There's kind of like but like back then it wasn't really that important to write down the score, was it? I don't know.
I don't know. Or at least to like keep it safe.
Yeah. As long as it was on the same.
I was like, listen, the visuals are more important than the sound.
Yeah, they sell these talkies these days, ruining cinema, man.
Yeah. There was even I was watching another one was about the VHS scans. Like watching, because people used to say like, oh man, watching movies back then was scarier than watching them now. Like old horror films and stuff like that.
It's true.
It's true. But part of the reason was because if you're watching at home, and you're watching a VHS tape. VHS tape is fairly shy quality. Like, it's fuzzy and it's grainy.
Scan lines everywhere.
And that distortion and that, like, unclarity, we'll go for that word, unclarity adds to the horror because you can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So your brain fills in the blanks. So, like, you're watching, you know, the example, it was a H. Bomber Guy video. You take, for example, like Alien is the example that he uses. Watching Alien, which is a fairly dark movie, but like you can kind of make out the shapes and stuff like that. And when you're watching that HD, you can see the shapes perfectly. But back then, you would be like, I don't know, did I just see something there? Like, what the fuck is that? What is that vague image that I'm after seeing? I mean, your brain can kind of play tricks on you when you're watching a VHS because it's not as perfect quality as it is now.
Yeah.
Sometimes clarity and perfect high definition isn't what you want.
Yeah. It's like it gets away from the obviously, or it's kind of like the older films are more of a obviously they're not just a prompt for you to like fill in the blanks in your imagination, but there is that element there where it's not as much about your eyes seeing these colors and these shapes. It's more about like, or just to a little bit more of an extent, more about how you're reacting in your head to whatever themes or motifs or whatever feelings or vibes are being communicated through the the scenes and the story. Like the focus on qualities maybe is just unnecessary, especially because like there's so many examples of you go into Netflix, you can pick any Netflix original film and the quality's insane. It's really, really good. You can watch it in 8K, stuff like that. They're all dog shit. Like they're all terrible. It doesn't matter if it's good. Like the quality.
It's like, this is the best image I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Looks, it's still shit.
Like it doesn't matter how good the image is if it's not like getting the gears going in the old noggin.
Yeah. The noggin is important.
Otherwise, you're just drying out your eyes. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, literally.
So yeah.
There's the whole thing as well with like video games. Like, you ever see that thing about like CRT scans, stuff like that?
Yeah.
CRT monitors. They're back in craze now because like pixel art back then doesn't look like how you play pixel art now.
Why?
Because CRT monitors and screens would kind of like blur the image slightly.
Yeah.
So the pixels weren't perfect pixels, and it actually they looked more realistic.
Yeah, because it was blurring. It was the effect of it all kind of amalgamating together.
Yeah. Whereas on your perfect fucking, HD screens now, you can see every pixel and they don't look as good. But that's because back then, like I think one of the examples I saw was grass in some video game where the grass in the CRT monitor looked like, I'm not gonna say it looked like grass, but it looked a lot more like grass than it does on a perfect screen where there's no CRT going on. It's interesting, like how like technology, the form and medium that you like originally intended for, your fucking for your media or whatever, changes when things get more definition and higher quality.
Yeah.
And they actually end up looking worse on better tech than they did on the worse, more, quote unquote, inferior tech.
Yeah. I think I'm generally at this stage opposed to the whole idea of like HD stuff. It's like unless it's like unless you have the TV for it, or it's some great kind of spectacle in the cinema.
Yeah, like it's actually a film that like wants you to watch it in that format.
Yeah,
like Avatar 2 or something like that.
Yeah. But if I'm like some scrub sitting in my bed, I can watch fucking Citizen Kane in 8K on my iPhone. It's like I'm just wasting my time. It's just a total waste of human life.
What am I doing?
To do anything like that, it just doesn't matter. It just does not matter at all.
Yeah, you're not gonna appreciate it.
Or like your small TV or whatever, But yeah, interesting. I don't know. I can't remember how we got on that. But
no idea. But it was an interesting little tangent. It fucking filled up 15 minutes on an episode where we have three on an episode we have 3 films to talk about.
That's because we're deep diving, man.
Yeah, we are.
It's a deep dive. Speaking of horror films,
I know. I was going to say, taking a deep dive. Sometimes you watch something so shit it makes you reflect on life.
Yes. I like it.
You do the intro, bro.
The Exorcist, Believer. The Exorcist Believer is a film by David Gordon Green of Halloween 2018 fame. It's also written and storied by Danny McBride, who is also partner in that project. Very successful project, Halloween 2018. In my opinion, one of the greatest, or well, I can't remember any other ones, but for me, the greatest horror remake, or kind of a like sequel reboot. You know, the best sequel, whatever it was the best of that kind.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like. Well, you got you got The Thing, but The Thing doesn't count.
The Thing
is technically a remake, but like get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Like modern like requel.
Yeah,
things.
It's based on the same like iteration. Like,
yeah,
The Thing isn't based on that thing, you know.
It's a sequel, but also a reboot, but also vaguely a remake.
Yeah. It was a great film anyway. Exorcist Believer is along the exact same lines, where it's like a. It's like a what's the word they have? It's like a requel. It's a requel. Yeah. That's the term for it. It's not really a remake, but it's a sequel that is intending to reboot the franchise. By directly following along from the original, and it's perfectly in line with everything David Gordon Green has done since Halloween 2018.
I was like,
in saying that it is dog shit. It is terrible.
Like when you do that intro, it's like, from Halloween 2018, it's like, well, more importantly, he did Halloween Kills, and like to a lesser extent, Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends is also terrible.
Yeah, it's like
he thought it could be a good film. He's like, nah, forget that.
Yeah.
Forget about this.
Like,
you know what?
I have a really good idea of how to make a good movie, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah. This is, like, I'm not even a huge fan of the OG Exorcist. Like, I'm like, yeah.
Same. It's a great film, but I wouldn't be like, this is such an amazing film.
I'm not like, this is like fucking, top 10 greatest horror films of all time.
Same, yeah, I wouldn't rank it.
I wouldn't rank in that regard. But, like, it's a fucking classic. It's one of the... before we get on to Halloween Exorcist, before we get on to Exorcist Believer, can we do Mount Rushmore of, like, horror classics?
Yeah, wait, why not?
Because I was gonna say like Exorcist.
We got the time.
Exorcist is like Mount Rushmore horror classic film. Mm-hmm. Like that's your fucking George Washington. George Washington Mount Rushmore. That's your George Washington right there.
Yeah.
What else would you have on that list?
On iconic horror films.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course.
Yeah, that's the first slasher. So yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you'd have to have Halloween rather than Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I'd have Halloween, yeah.
Nah, you can have one of the. No, you can do whatever you want.
Well, how many are there on?
There's 4.
There's 4. Okay, I'd say, I don't know. Norman Bates, Michael Myers, Leatherface, and The Exorcist.
I guess Psycho. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's in terms of the canon.
The canon.
Yeah, I'd say Psycho, but I don't.
Exorcist.
I'm not like
Psycho
is the greatest film ever made.
Halloween. I need one more. I want to say Texas Chainsaw just because I think Halloween.
All right, we'll leave Texas Chainsaw out.
I just think that Halloween is a more important slasher than Texas Chainsaw. Maybe that's wrong.
I think the fact that it's more of a slasher is a point against it, in my opinion. In terms of horror, it's a better film. Mo.
I don't know what else you'd have up there. I wouldn't have Alien.
No.
I wouldn't do that. Shit, maybe there's only 3. There's only 3 good horror films.
After all we've done, 125.
I just can't think of like classic horror films.
And you started out saying, I don't even like The Exorcist.
I like The Exorcist.
You don't like Psycho either. There's only one good horror film.
Psycho's a 3-star film.
The Boards.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I the birds on that. Nah,
women. What?
Women, am I right? I'm gonna turn one of those podcasts. Fucking, I can't think of any other horror. Nosferatu. There we go. There's another. Fucking pull that one out of the bag.
Dracula's just like, yeah, whatever.
It's not as good as Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu. Yeah.
Nosferatu would curb stomp Dracula.
It's also thinking about the optics, like the visuals of this Mount Rushmore. Like Leatherface isn't a great example. Obviously Alien doesn't work. Norman Bates also isn't great. Nosferatu, even Freddy.
Freddy's way down.
It's terrible, but it's iconic.
Freddy is the fourth member of like the iconic slasher franchises. Like,
He's B-list. He's B-list on the C-list of horror movie genres.
Like, yeah. But anyway, sorry, fucking Exorcist. That's a weird tangent. But anyway, like, yeah, I don't even like Exorcist, like OG Exorcist, all that much. This film somehow managed to offend me in terms of how it treated the Exorcist.
It's like Halloween Kills.
I think this is worse.
I mean, in terms of its approach.
Oh yeah.
I honestly I don't think it's worse than Halloween Kills just because I was so offended. Remember we were there for that. You know, that was like I was being stabbed by Michael Myers, or like an impersonator.
I remember walking out of that movie and like, that was not fucking good. Like, at least in this film, I kind of expected it to not be good.
Yeah.
But like the ways that it treats its franchise, like, I wouldn't even say franchise, just like the OG film. Like, I got no reverence for that film, and even still, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's like a zombie film. There's no zombies in it, but it's resurrecting a dead franchise. You know that no one really wants, maybe, and it desecrating the corpse.
Like, I forget that there's like multiple Exorcist
yeah,
movies.
Yeah. Like, they were never popular. Everyone knows the Exorcist. No one knows what the fuck happens in the Exorcist 2 or 3.
Apparently 3 is decent.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently the Exorcist 3 is like alright.
No one knows.
Yeah, no one knows. We'll find out though.
No one's ever watched it.
We'll do it.
I'll watch it.
I am proposing that the Exorcist be our next franchise review.
How many films are there?
I think there's like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
it's not too many. If there's any fucking remakes in the 2000s, I'm not stepping near that. That can go fuck itself.
The Exorcist 3D.
Yeah, like fucking.
Is that a thing?
Smellorama. You can smell the puke and piss that she. So yeah, the plot of this film is you got Leslie Odom Jr., who is in Haiti with his wife at the start of the movie.
For some reason.
Even, what year was it meant to be? What year was that? 2010, 2011?
Yeah, 2011, the earthquake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Haiti in 2011, and his wife is pregnant, and she gets like a blessing or whatever to like ward off evil spirits or some shit. And the earthquake happens. And I don't know, did you find, like, when that happened, I was like, it's a bit distasteful. I don't know if there's something about that doesn't feel right with me.
It's because everyone remembers that, you know?
Yeah.
That was huge. Like, a lot of people died.
It
only happened like just over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? Like, people were made orphans. Pretty going to watch this film.
Like, there's
it's a bit grim.
Still ramifications of that happening today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be like if they made a fucking, I don't know, like just kind of I don't know, invoking a kind of disaster like that.
To pull at your heartstrings. There's something
for like a cheap sequel to a dead horror franchise. It's just a bit much, you know. It's just a bit much.
There's just something about that did not sit right with me. So anyway, his wife is dying, and they're like, you can either choose to save your wife or your unborn child. Then it fast forwards, to modern day, and teenage girls in the house are like, okay, so we picked the child.
Yeah.
Child is, it does the same thing. Like the benefits that I would give this film, I wouldn't even give it fully, because what it does is it depicts the dad and the little girl and their relationship together. And it's like, you don't get any points for that because that's what everyone touts The Exorcist for doing really well. So you don't get the points for doing that, for doing the thing that another film in this franchise has done and did better. She goes off with a mate in her class one day, and they are trying to speak to the dead, and then they go missing for 3 days, and then they come back, and something is up with them. And I mean, the title of the film is The Exorcist. You can kind of guess what happened to them.
Yes, they've been exorcised.
Well, they need to be exorcised.
They need to be now.
Yes, because they're possessed by
Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Our old friend. It's It's kind of tiresome.
Isn't it just?
It's kind of tiresome. The whole thing, the whole operation, because it's like it's
that, yeah.
It's just pure going through. It just reminds me so much of Halloween Kills. It's going through the motions. It's just kind of. It seems like everything is just set up to get to the next plot point, rather than dedicating any time to build a real atmosphere. Anything that would make a decent horror film isn't really there. It's all kind of like it's. I could see the pitch for the film, and it sounds pretty cool, you know. It's like, they're voodoo, Haiti, you know. It's like Beelzebub. He's back because obviously he's a demon. He's timeless. They reunite with the original family and all this stuff.
Oh man, yeah. Jesus.
To crush, expel this demon back to hell. And it's a whole family drama. It's about trauma. Like so many, it's like, but it incorporates all these other things. It's not just about Catholicism. Not to be bad. This will sound bad, but this film is not Catholic enough. It sounds really bad. But like The Exorcist is like the most Catholic film. It's just like, it's almost in like an offensive way. It's like these freaks, you know, these weird, like this. Look at this cult that they're in. They're all Catholics, you know, because it's all very like it's just so austere and like foreboding. It's like you can feel like the guilt.
Yeah, the Catholic guilt is rife in that film.
Yeah, and everything. It's just like the demons are always after us. They're trying to win. They're gonna possess you next. You're fucked. And this film, it's like it's like this like it's just falsely like feels like sterilized. It's not even like a secular response to how Catholic the Exorcist is. It's just like
it feels like it tries to double down in it in the most like
it's just
moronic
really,
fucking way possible.
It's just so sterile. Like if they had committed to the bit of like Haiti and voodoo and some other like just like kind of make them equivalent to what was happening in the original film, as in it's just spirits, demons. Something is happening underneath in the world that we cannot see. Like fair enough, stick to that. But instead, it's like, you know, we got the Hindus, we got the boys, we got the preachers, we got the Protestants, we got the Anglicans, we got the Muslims. It's like it's just. Or it's like all these just like, it's like this multi-faith ecumenical, there's an ecumenical exorcism in the film. What? It's like, that doesn't make
the fucking Avengers assembled to take this demon down.
It just doesn't make any sense. It just does, like, it's just so, like I wouldn't even say that there's a way they could have made it work, because they just kind of they doubled down, as you said, on something that like it's just a bad idea to begin with. They should have like spread out.
See, but they're not all different religions. They're all different strains of Christianity. Because like I was thinking as well, like weird that you're getting like voodoo stuff in this, but I was like, oh no, it's just like I don't know what like form of, I'm not gonna say religion, but like, you know, expression, I guess. Is Catholicism a separate religion to Protestantism?
Americans would say that, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, whatever. It's like, you know, the Haitian kind of voodoo-infused version of Christianity or whatever.
That'd be a great basis for a film.
Yeah. But, like, this is like, oh my God. Like, we're getting into spoilers later on for when we talk about, like, how it treats certain characters in this film from the OG Exorcist. But, like, that's a whole fucking separate thing. But like the way that they go about trying to exorcise the demons from the two girls is, like, I jokingly thought like, oh, it's kind of like the Avengers Assemble, but like there's a scene where like they're getting the team together, and the pastor is in the church, and he turns around and all the main characters are behind him, coming out from the shadows of all the different like strains different strains of this religion. And it's like, oh my God. And like they're all there at the end trying to fucking do it, and like, oh, we're just not strong enough, what are we gonna do? Like fucking might as well have been like Stone Cold Steve Austin glass smash as the priest storms in, and he's like, I got this, hallelujah, fucking, and starts singing like, you know, chanting fucking prayers and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this?
Like, it's so ridiculous. Like it's Because it's the same way with Halloween Kills. It's like really, it's trying to like shoehorn like some kind of social point into the
Oh
film.
my
that,
God.
that
But it's
it doesn't properly understand.
It's
at
the
all.
same social point again, though. It's
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
need to come together. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, man, get a new team. Like, try something else. I know what you're trying to say
Yeah.
is about, like, people need to connect with each other to defeat greater evils and shit like that. Understand what you're saying. Do it better or just fucking change. Stop going to this team because you're not good at explaining it. He has,
Yeah.
like, characters in this film with just long dialogue scenes, like in Halloween Kills, where they just explain the themes of the movie uninterrupted. It's not even. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's so ham-fisted, you know. Yeah, the monologues, even like the characters in The Exorcist, and like there's no. It's worth pointing out, like it's similar to Halloween Kills, where like it's worth comparing this film to The Exorcist because it deliberately demands to be compared to The Exorcist because it's a sequel, it's a direct sequel.
And
It's not just a shit like follow up. It's like it claims to be the successor to The Exorcist. That's why it's worth mentioning.
And it even like it calls back to it constantly. Like you have the medical scene, and this one is a similar medical scene to the OG one. They also do this weird fucking like editing choice, and they do like 3 times in the film where like it's like people to convey tension and like rising anxieties. It's just like people talking, but like overlaying the audio and like fast cuts and stuff like that. They do that like 3 times in this movie, and it never looks good or sounds good. And oh my God, bro, the bit at the end where like they're getting the demon out of the girl's body, essentially. I think that is some of the worst visuals I've seen in a modern horror film. I'm not being hyperbolic. There's like awful CGI mixed in with this terrible like fast cut editing where it just, and it's like the screen is like warping and like it just looks like shit. It just looks so bad, and it's not scary. There's nothing scary about this movie.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely worth pointing out the visual chasm between. Obviously, this film isn't going to be as like well made as the original film, which is so well regarded. But the original film it's
David
like,
Gordon Green is not William Friedkin.
yeah, apparently not. William Friedkin's ghost fucking haunted this film. He haunted the production of this entire film, it seems. So the original Exorcist is just full of this like real foreboding. Like the characters are like you feel this sense of impending doom the entire time, and it's not just because of the way it's written or the way it's kind of, or what the story or kind of like the tone or whatever. It's like the way it's shot as well.
Yeah.
It's like it's very dark. It's just like alleyways and like street lights. For a lot of the scenes,
The ghoulish blue light in her room and stuff like that.
yeah, it's like a lot more intense scenes. It's like it's very deliberately shot. It's like it's claustrophobic. You can't really see what's going on beyond like the immediate, what's being brought to your immediate attention. It's like mysterious and it feels creepy, and the characters you feel like the characters are in danger, and you feel like the characters are like being trod on. That like this is like they're dealing with things that they can't cope with and that they won't be able to defeat. And as much as they try. And this film, it's like the characters are just kind of like these American like. It's like this American bravado. It's kind of I think it's a uniquely American thing, where they're just like they seem like they're just spitting in the face of the whole thing. It's like we can like kind of like we can do this kind of like let's get together.
We're Americans.
Yeah, we can make this happen. Obviously, the original film is American as well, but this one's just so weirdly. It's the same kind of feeling that was in Halloween Kills. It's like if we just come together, we can do anything. Even overcome
the devil,
the devil himself. It's like, is that kind of not like I don't know? Is that a bit? That's kind of heretical, one could say, or maybe the reverse. I don't know. Heretical within the span of the Exorcist lore, at least. And the film itself is just shot like shit. It just doesn't look nice at all.
No.
As you say, like the scenes where you have what's her name, Angela, and it's like the version of Regan in this film.
Yeah.
And she's like possessed, and her mate Catherine, I think is her name. Or they're possessed, and like they're chatting back and forth between whoever's like trying to reason with them or talk them down or trying to figure out what's going on. And it's just like the dialogue is just really stilted and it feels like it's like slightly quippy for some reason.
Yeah.
And the lighting and just like the angles and stuff. It doesn't feel like the film has like an identity in itself at all.
Mhm.
Even though it has its own blueprint mapped out
Yeah.
like 40 years ago, 50 years ago
Yeah.
by one of the greatest films ever made. Like just stick to that kind of basic blueprint. Instead, it looks like any other horror film.
Yeah. It's just
That you'd
like a
see.
modern horror film.
Yeah, like any other horror film. It just has the name and a few of the characters from the original.
Yeah. Yeah. So Catherine Burstein, she's in this movie. She's the mom from the OG film.
Yeah.
She comes back into this film. We're getting into spoilers for what happens in specific scenes in this movie. So she comes back into this film because they're like, right, we need someone that has dealt with this before. And in the meantime, like between the two films, what's the character's name?
Regan.
Chris? No.
Chris. Oh yeah. The mom.
The mom, yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mom. Yeah, Chris. She has written a book about what happened to Regan in the OG film and got like rich and famous from it. And Regan has like no contact with her from that because she's really upset. So they go to her and she's like, let me try to talk to this demon.
Let me rolls up the sleeves.
Yeah.
Let me handle this.
I got this. Even though, like, from her point of view, like, 2 men died in that house that night trying to perform that exorcism. I know what I'm doing here. I didn't actually talk to Regan or, like,
I wasn't in the room, but
I wasn't in the room or anything like that. But, like, I'm sure I can do this. Walks into the room, and I genuinely thought that when the demon stands up and stabs Chris in the eyes, I genuinely thought, oh, this isn't real. Like, she's like imagining this, because there's no fucking way. There's no way that you would treat the source material this badly. There's no way you do that. No, she does get stabbed in the eyes, and she's now blinded, and she's now out of the movie, and they cart her off, and she's just let like fucking Laurie. There's a lot of comparisons in this film, I feel like, to Halloween Kills. Carted off like Laurie in Halloween Kills and is just left in a fucking hospital bed for the rest of the film.
oh yeah, she's coming back. Yeah,
What?
she's coming back, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
As
is a
like
trilogy.
The blind seer is like, I can speak to the spirits now that I've lost my sight, or something. Something like that will happen.
Now that I can't see with my eyes, I can truly see with my spirit.
Yeah, didn't you predicted, wasn't it, like the start, like some aspect of like Halloween ends, wasn't it? You were like, this is gonna happen.
I think I did.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was though.
You just like call it like dead, like spot on. This is probably the same thing. We'll be able to call it.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Yeah,
because
I can't see how else they're gonna make a trilogy out of this.
They need the other.
Like
characters.
surely there's like, unless like Leslie Odom Jr. or something that's gonna be in this trilogy for some reason. But like she gets stabbed in the eyes and she's left separately, and like I'm like, what was the point of that character being in this movie? Like, literally, what was the point of her? She did nothing.
She just got creamed by Beelzebub again.
Yeah, again. Like I know that like Ellen Burstyn was she got paid lots for this movie, and like really like famously she's just like all the money that she made from this movie she's using to set up a school of acting for like child actors. Great. That's a good reason to do it.
Good for her.
But fucking hell, like that doesn't separate from the fact that like Jesus, that was absolutely pointless. Like it's great that she's doing that with the money, but if she wasn't doing that with the money, you'd be like, oh, what a absolute like waste of money to do that. Oh, yeah.
Sell out.
And then Regan is at the end of this movie in this ending monologue where someone's just describing the themes of this movie again and saying, oh, people come together and we can do whatever we want, we can overcome anything. And then Regan walks into her mom. And you're like, what is oh my God. Like, what are you doing? That was like, I actually found that offensive, and I don't even like The Exorcist, and that was offensive to me.
Yeah, like so tacked on, like so, like why?
Why?
Like it's a series of like sequences just kind of stitched together. And like that's like as we're saying, she will come back. The man will come back. She will be back.
I can't see
Or at the
where-
very least, the daughter will be back.
I can't see how this could be a trilogy unless you use, like, who else from the main cast of characters is going to be in the rest of them? Like, I don't.
They're all dead, yeah.
Because at least like the first Halloween, Halloween 2018, like I can see where you're going.
Mm.
I said Halloween Kills, but that second film was like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with the third film. And lo and behold, third film completely fucking might as well not be related to the other two. I don't know how the second installment could play out outside of she's now blind and she's going around and dealing with her exorcisms. We don't have that. Like, why would you do that? Like, why? Like, that's 2 times now you've come into contact with these demons and they've fucked you up both times.
Yeah, you lost both times.
Like Rocky in the fucking like third round. Like, I got him.
It's about respect.
It's about respect. It's about when life hits you, you gotta keep moving forward.
Sylvester Stallone's in
I
second.
really hope that in the third film she just gives that speech to Reagan, being like, "You gotta make it yourself." Oh yeah, not good.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dud.
It's
A ghoulish film, one might say.
ghoulish, yeah.
Demonic.
I think it's weird that this. I do think this film is worse than Halloween Kills, even though I think that Halloween Kills. Maybe it's that I expected this movie to be bad, and it was somehow worse than I thought it was going to be. But then Halloween Kills, I had high hopes for, and then it just turned out to be shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about this movie just completely rubbed me the wrong way. I think it's the fact that it's got to do with the religion stuff. I mean, that's just what it is. It's more like, oh, fuck off. Don't make this point with religion as well.
Yeah,
Out of all things, I don't think religion is the thing that's going to bring people together.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like, like the whole concept is about a demon, like a biblical demon. It's like we need to cast aside our secular, it's not even, they're not even like religious differences.
Schismic
Our
differences.
schismatic differences unite as one Christian nation, take down this evil force. It's like, just spare us all that fucking
Bollocks.
evangelist bollocks. Just get on with the movie. Make it scary. Make it interesting.
Yeah.
Develop it in your own way.
That's
And
number one
they failed. Yeah, they failed to do that. They had so much to work with. They had a blank canvas. Did fuck all with it. The Haiti thing, like the start of the film is the best part of this film. And it's not good. It's
not
still
good.
terrible. Like.
Yeah.
But like just the premise, like the pitch. I can see the pitch and it's good.
Mm.
The Haiti voodoo. It's similar with the first one where like it starts out like the desert,
Mm.
and you have like the ancient Egyptian like monument to Baal.
I think they're in Iraq.
Yeah, in Iraq, yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Afghanistan, I think.
it's like,
somewhere.
it's like obviously like that's not like a Christian religion, so like there's something happening
Yeah, what's going on
below
here?
the surface. So who gives a fuck about like Christianity or like the different sects?
Oh,
It should
yeah.
be about like mysticism in general and like what's some other world, the supernatural, like the actual paranormal.
Yeah, you just reminded me as well that the big twist in the film is that Leslie Odom Jr.'s character actually didn't pick his daughter. He chose to save his wife, but they couldn't save his wife, so they saved his daughter.
He's like Job.
Yeah. Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
No.
So he's punished.
Yeah. Do you want to hear what the best part of this film was? Had nothing to do with
end.
the movie. It had nothing to do with the movie. I was sitting there with Melissa watching this in the cinema, and I reach over to get the popcorn, just like stuck my hand and get popcorn. So I'm already paying attention to what's going on the screen, and I like take out the popcorn and start like, I put the first piece into my mouth, and a jump scare happens, and Melissa was holding the bag in a way that I could like put my hand in, and when the jump scare happened, she literally throws the popcorn into the air and has to dive across me to catch it before it hits the ground. And like the people behind us there was nobody in the cinema. There was like there was 8 people in this cinema. This is the Galactic screen up in Sound Street. So like 8 people in a fucking like 60-person fucking cinema screen or something like that. 2 people sitting behind us start pissing themselves laughing over at her. I'm fucking dying laughing. I can't get my shit together for the rest of this movie because of what happened. Oh yeah. Also jump scares galore and shit like that. Like I'm just tired.
Any good ones? No.
Any good what?
Like jump scares?
No. In general or in this movie?
No, yeah, in this movie. Yeah.
In this movie, God no.
There are good jump scares.
Yeah, there's good jump scares, but just not in this movie. Yeah. I did like the visual of the little girl when they realized that when they're like, choose me, don't choose me. that who you're choosing isn't actually to save, it's who's gonna get condemned and dragged to hell. I liked that visual of the little girl, like, you know, her spirit waking up somewhere, and then she just gets fucking yeeted into the water and pulled down to hell. I was like, that's fucked up. That's a good image.
Yeah, but it's so the ending is so cruel as well. I just kind of like, you know.
Yeah, it was just like
it's
that.
Like we move, we ball.
I was like,
it's like it's just got dragged to hell.
I was a bit like, that was really weirdly cruel for this movie.
Yeah,
even though I had a scene where an old woman got blinded, that was weirdly cruel.
Yeah, like it just kind of it seemed so out of like off tone.
Mm. Even though the priest got his head snapped, that's still like
yeah.
I don't know.
Reading the old Bible.
Yeah. We go for a break.
Let's do it. I know, for our film of the week, our recommended film of the week, Jacob's Ladder by Adrian Lyne. I've changed my pronunciation of his name. So, Jacob's Ladder, a 1990 film. After returning home from the Vietnam War, veteran Jacob Singer struggles to maintain his sanity. Plagued by hallucinations and flashbacks, Singer rapidly falls apart as the world and people around him morph and twist into disturbing images. His girlfriend, Jessie, and ex-wife, Sarah, try to help, but to little avail. Even Singer's chiropractor friend, Louis, fails to reach him as he descends into madness.
I'm also going to ask you, how did you pronounce his ex-wife's name?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Her name is Sarah. It's because I work with too many Croatians called Sarah.
So I was like, what? Sarah? Yeah. So we haven't talked about, this is the one time where we have not talked about our opinions of the recommended film before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
So these are going to be our live reactions, not knowing what the other person thought. We're too busy talking about how shit The Exorcist was. So I think you said this as well, that this has been on like your watch list
for
like
years.
Yeah,
years.
I've had this on my watch list as well for years. I think because I saw the scene of the party in this movie where like he starts freaking out and he's seeing like monsters and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that looks sick. That's the kind of Cronenberg-esque film. That sounds good. Like a kind of like body horror film. That is like kind of what this movie is, but it's not really. It's really,
it's not. It's described variously as like a psychological horror film, like as a horror film in general. I'm not sure if that really applies, but like I don't know what else.
Yeah, what
to
genre
describe
would you put
it
that
as? Like there's parts towards the end of the film where I'm kind of getting vibes of like one of those Lifetime movies about.
That was just the headphones. Sorry about that.
No, it's like one of those like Christian movies where people find God and stuff. You know, like it kind of has a bit of that.
Yeah,
that feel.
Like,
at the same time, it's like a Vietnam film, but the Vietnam stuff isn't really relevant.
Until it really is at the end.
Until it really is, yeah. And then there's the kind of paranoid thriller. It's definitely more of a paranoid thriller than anything else, I would say.
I think I'm in agreement with you there. Like, to me, there's like horror aspects to this film, but a lot of it is more so a paranoid thriller, as you said. Even like, because what I had heard about this film is, it's a guy dealing with PTSD from Vietnam, and then that's why he's seeing, all these monsters and stuff like that. And like, I think like I don't know where I sit on this film, like, because part of it, like, it is like a good movie, but I wish it was more focused in what it was, if that makes sense. Because at one stage, it's about, it's a guy dealing with PTSD. Then it's about, no, there was psychological drugs being used on people in Vietnam, and that's what it's about. No, then it's about religion, and then at the end, obviously spoilers because it's our recommended film, it's revealed that this is all a death dream.
Yeah.
And at the end I'm kind of like, oh, like, out of everything that this film could have been, I feel like it went for like the least interesting choice to be its like final decision of what this is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of along the same, like similar lines. I just wish it was a bit more, came down more on one end, like kind of committed to a single. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being lazy, but like committed to a single reading of the film rather than like it seems like it's kind of you're kind of second guessing yourself. Not necessarily in a good way for a lot of the film, but like each like constituent part is definitely interesting, and it's like the visuals are very compelling, and the story is interesting. But it's like a
It's
weird,
well acted and it's well shot.
yeah, like it's a good film. It's just it's a weird mishmash of different genre. It's like it's like It's a Wonderful Life if it was evil, you know. It's like the reverse.
Yeah.
It's like like that was the kind of feel I got at the end of the film, where he like he meets his son who's died, and they walk. Like the title of the film, Jacob's Ladder, is a reference to a biblical story about some guy called Jacob. It's from the Old Testament, I think. It's
You had a dream of a ladder that goes up to heaven.
Yeah,
And the whole thing is like the stairway to heaven is it's not that straightforward.
Yeah. Like the film is extremely depressing, and that's what I mean by like, the comparison to It's a Wonderful Life. It's a very depressing film. Like what I took from it in the end, and I don't even think it's a complete reading because there's parts of
The fuck is going on? Why is there all this external noise coming out?
we're falling apart. But like there's a lot of things that happen in the film that like aren't accounted for, like in terms of how there's more impression made on me by the end of the film in terms of the message seems to be that like it's a very like Old Testament fire and brimstone God as kind of like this disciplinarian like slave driver, or like leading Moses leading the Israelites out of the desert, and they've all been suffering for so long. It's like that kind of thing where it's like life is like this horrible like suffering and like this dream, but the end of it is like this kind of salvation.
Yeah.
Like it's a positive ending, but the whole thing is basically like this guy is living hell. Like the whole thing is, for up until the end of the film, Jacob's Ladder seems to almost be even a description of it in terms of like the reference is a kind of, the title is kind of like a double reference to obviously the biblical story, but also within the film, he's a Vietnam vet who came back, within obviously the frame of the story, who came back to the US, and he's suffering with PTSD from everything that happened. He was bayoneted during an offensive, but he doesn't remember, and he's getting like flashbacks and all these things. And he finds out that there was some kind of tests being conducted on his unit in Vietnam, where the US military were shipping scientists over to Vietnam to experiment on their troops and synthesize drugs that would create a state of berserkerism, basically, like fully aggressive rage to maximize casualties on the opposite side, and that it backfired. But the description of the way that the drug works is it's like a ladder, and they call it a ladder. It's like a ladder, and the way the guy who's kind of informing him about all this stuff describes it is it's like a ladder straight down. So obviously in the biblical story it's a ladder up, in the movie it's a ladder down into hell. So basically Jake, who's the main character in the story, is living in hell.
He's in purgatory or something.
He's in some kind of purgatory, and his life basically was hell as well. It was suffering up until the very end, and he only finds salvation after he accepts that he's dead and releases all his attachments to the earthly world.
Yeah,
which is so dark, you know. It's such that's the horror in it, I think. Like obviously the visuals and the effects and all that stuff, they're pretty horrific as well. And it's unusual for like just a thriller film to have all those added components to the film. But it's like the message, kind of like how downbeat it is. But that is kind of that's kind of the base for a lot of the religious kind of, a lot of the stuff in the Old Testament as well. Yeah. At least anyway.
A lot of Old Testament's a lot of suffering.
Like Jesus, the whole thing. Like remember we did Last Temptation of Christ. It's just about Jesus was just had just like the whole point of Christianity is it had such a horrible life, so that we're able to live better lives, and that it all gets better once you die. It's like, oh Jesus, that's a bit.
Life
That's a
is
bit
suffering,
dark.
and then you die.
Yeah. And it's a lot. Obviously, it's a lot worse when you don't dress it up in like all the pageantry and like the communal aspect of religion. Like this is just a film where like, this guy's just having a bad time,
Just having a good time.
and then he has a good time when he dies.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, it was like, I feel like the last act of this film is the film going like, it's this. No, actually, it's this. No, it's this. Actually, it's this. And then that final this is what it
yeah, what it
ends on.
settles on. Yeah,
what it settles on. And I don't know. Like for me, it was like, it is a film about PTSD, and then it is about like for me, I was like, oh, so the drug thing was, him just imagining it in his death dream. But then at the end, it has that title card at the end saying like, we don't know whether or not these drugs were actually used.
yeah.
I was like, so was that real? Like, is that aspect of the film? Like, what do you want me to settle on as the final thing of this movie? Like, was it just a combination of all of it? Was it a combination of his PTSD, his drug, infused rage? He's also in purgatory because then he finally accepts death, and then at the end, it's like it is a death dream, but it's everything in one. Which for me, I'm like, I feel like you could have picked one.
Yeah,
you could have picked one of those things and really went with it. And out of those things, I think the experimental drug use is maybe the least interesting. And that's the thing that the film ends on a title card for. I was like, I don't know about that.
Right,
like, I don't know. I feel like that's the least interesting for like a horror movie. Because I feel like with horror films, obviously you can do like societal horrors and stuff like that. But it's not that interesting to have a horror film about like experimental drug use after the fact that it's happened. Like, like Climax or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you can see the drug use and the horrors is from what you're seeing on screen. It's not like less horrifying to hear about the fact that like, oh, it was your own men killing you, and like, oh God, like, they butchered each other, and I couldn't believe that men could do that to other men. It's not as scary hearing that as it would be to feel the intensity and horror of seeing that. I feel like, I don't know. Even like just like because like most of the film is like his PTSD. I feel like that's what the film is really leaning you on to believe that that's what it is. And it is that. Again, like it is all these things in one.
It's not even PTSD because he dies during the middle of the drama.
Yeah.
It's no post.
Yeah.
It's like it's just him coming to terms with something awful that happened.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about like
in his
when you're watching it for the first time.
As you're watching it.
As you're watching it, it's a film about PTSD.
Yeah. But that kind of undermines the point. It's like it's not even like
yeah, it's not actually about
yeah.
Like it is about that, but it's not like for the character it isn't really that. It's like because then you could just chop up like, well, it wasn't PTSD, it was the fact that he was dying, and because I thought that was like it was interesting, but like I feel like there could have been more horrifying imagery in the film. Having said that, there is the party scene, which is awful. Oh, that is horrible. Horrible to watch. Where like his girlfriend, who's a bitch, she's a bitch.
Yeah, she's useless.
I feel like
she's not supportive at all. Like this guy's clearly struggling. She's like, you have to stop crying.
I've had enough of crazies. If you go crazy, I'm leaving you. It's like, I don't know if you have you probably have crazy, but I don't know if you have like, psycho-induced PTSD crazy.
Yeah, this guy was in Nam, He's seen things, man.
Yeah, he's seen awful things, man.
He got bayoneted. She's like, stop crying.
Get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like there's the horror that he experienced because while he is in Vietnam, his child at home, played by Macaulay Culkin, is hit by a car and died. And yeah, like that like obviously that is relevant, but I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot going on in this movie where like I feel like you could have stripped out some parts of it and it would be, I don't know, more interesting, but I feel like more impactful.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the film, I feel like I'm watching a film figuring itself out as to what it wants
That's a
to
good way
be.
to put it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But everything before that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it just gets it's kind of confusing, and a lot of it is just very downbeat as well. And there's like frequent visual references to Camus, like the
Yeah.
stranger. Like he wakes up, like when he first wakes up after having been, after you see him being bayoneted by somebody, or whatever, and then he wakes up in his apartment in New York, and it's like 19.
No, he wakes up and he's in the subway.
Yeah. He's in the subway and he's missed his stop, and it's 1975, and he has The Stranger. He's reading that and he's falling asleep reading it, and then it comes up again later in the
Same,
film.
bro.
Yeah, it's like 100 pages.
Fucking.
But obviously that's all about like, you know, creating meaning through the absurd, like, or like, you know, the meaninglessness of life. You know, you can find your own meaning through that. But like I feel like that kind of in itself undermines a lot of what happens in the, because like you have obviously the drug experimentation, the PTSD, the horrible things that happen to his kid, horrible things that happen to him, and it all seems to be leading somewhere. But at the same time, if you go back and like pick through it, and you have these references to like, you know, create your own like nihilism. It's kind of like, is that not kind of? That's not really the point of the whole biblical angle that's coming for.
That like it full on ends in a biblical message. It's like, it's not kind of counteract everything else the film's been doing.
Yeah. It's like it's all like all life is suffering. You have to find meaning through the suffering. Like this guy's been subject to all these horrible things, and he had such a traumatic end to his life in the last few years, and the death dream is him coming to terms with that and processing that and trying to overcome it. And it's kind of like it's not really that it doesn't really contradict it, but it's a weird kind of combination of messages.
Yeah,
you know, it's like is it the biblical thing where it's like you'll find eternal salvation now that you've
accepted your death.
Yeah, it's like a weird like I don't know, like a symbiosis of the two things, which I don't know. I didn't. Like just the fact that that's in the film just kind of seemed like it didn't really need to be there.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going for the whole, like there is such a heavy biblical kind of element to the film, which is strange for a horror film as well. But yeah, it's quite a confused film. As you say, it's like figuring itself out the entire way through, and you can read into it nearly too much.
Yeah.
And have an argument for any of them. Like
yeah.
any of your readings, which I don't like. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm the problem. The film is just doing its thing, and I shouldn't be like, oh, this film should have done that, instead of reading what the film actually is. But the film as it actually is just kind of, it's like it's spinning too many plates at once.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
I think I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah. Just stick with the drug testing thing, or stick with the Bible thing, or you know,
or stick with the PTSD thing, or you know.
Yeah.
I also wish there was more monsters in the movie.
Yeah, it's not really like it's not a horror film. Like there are monsters in the film, but they come up like every 10 minutes for. There's like the middle, like the second act.
Yeah,
and then that's kind of, and a little bit at the end, but like that's it.
Yeah, I kind of wish I just saw more like fucked up looking faces and stuff like that. That like, yeah, because like that's what I found like most scary in the film. Is the idea of like this guy seeing monsters everywhere, but then when he digs into it, it's like, man, something happened in Nam. Why? And then I actually started to lose interest when like he's talking to one of his mates, and his mate is like, no, I'm seeing them too. And I was like, wait, what? What? And then it's like, then he dies in a car exploding, and then it turns into this conspiracy theory thing. And I was like, oh, I don't find this mad interesting. I was like, I don't know, a horror film being a horror film and then being like, ooh, no, it's actually underground secret CIA experiments. It's causing this. I'm like, oh, that's not like, I don't really. And it focused on that for quite a bit. And that's just like kind of a red herring for somewhere else we're going completely different, which is the biblical stuff. Yeah, it's like each act kind of has its own subtext for what's going on, but like the subtext isn't really subtext because it's just text. Like it's just telling you this is what it is. for each stage in the movie. I would have preferred more monsters. I would have preferred more like fucked up visuals. I would have preferred more, and like, it is kind of stupid to say this because it is a film about essentially a character like losing their mind. But I wish there was more of the character losing his mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like one of the things that I read in this film, it's on the Wikipedia page, was that this film heavily inspired the Silent Hill, the Silent Hill franchise.
Yeah, I didn't really get that.
Right, because like less so the first one, I believe. I played a bit of the first one, not much. I'm actually playing it at the moment, which is funny that we actually ended up watching this film. But like like Silent Hill, especially in the second Silent Hill film, or Silent Hill game. Second Silent Hill game is you're playing as this character who has done something horrible, and then he goes to a town, and the town is reflecting that horror back at him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to deal with what he has done. And the monsters are like visual metaphors for his own fucked up head. So for example, like he goes to the hospital, and in the hospital the nurses are like they're wearing like ripped up skirts, and they got like big tits and shit like that, and it's got to do with the fact that his wife was dying, and his like the way that he, how do I explain this? The way that he wanted to have sex with her and like sexualized her as his wife, while in conflict with the fact that she's dying.
Yeah.
And like that's the horror that you're seeing playing out in the nurses. So I went into this film thinking that, and that's not what the monsters are. The monsters are just kind of ghoulish creatures that are just kind of there when you see them. They're not like reflecting some, deeper inner trauma, that they're not metaphors for something.
Yeah.
The metaphor is that he's suffering from PTSD, rather than, if you saw a little kid, like one of the monsters looking like a little kid, and that reflecting the horror of his child dying.
I would have hated it to happen.
Would have hated that happen as well.
Like,
but that kind of idea.
Yeah.
Something along those type of lines.
Uh-huh.
That's Definitely Silent Hill 2, but Silent Hill 3 is something different again, where it's about cults and whatever. There's actually a lot of Silent Hill 3 is really cool as well, because there's a lot of like menstrual stuff going on, because it's about a young girl fighting for control of her body while the figures around her are trying to take control of her body, and the monsters are vague reflections of menstruation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I liked, stuff like that would have been cool. Silent Hill 1 isn't like that, but like Silent Hill 2 and 3 are definitely play off that idea. So I thought that that's what it was, but I think the inspiration that Silent Hill took from it is, wouldn't it be fucked up if people turned into monsters? So I was kind of disappointed in that aspect of the film, because I think it's not the film's fault that like another piece of media took some ideas and like expanded on them, because those ideas are there. They're just not as done well as they were in later iterations of the idea. So even that, I was like, the monsters don't really mean anything that much. It's just the fact that he's seen the monsters means something. Yeah.
Like they do mean something in the context when they go into the quote about, you think you're in hell, when the demon, something about like the demons are coming after you and attacking you. And it's only once you like they're tearing away all your attachments to the earthly world. It's only once all those attachments are gone that you accept that the demons are actually angels, and that they were freeing you essentially from your mortal coil or whatever. That's the point. But the monsters themselves don't really reflect on his character that much, which is, it could have been expanded upon, definitely.
So that's
a mix.
It's still like, I feel like this is a film that maybe I've heard so much about, but also we did go through 2 or 3 lists of like the top 100 horror films. Jacob's Ladder's not on any of those lists. And like, not unsurprising because I don't think it's a film that I had like hype going into because I've heard about it, but it's not what I thought it was, nor is it anything. It's not better than what I thought it would have been, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the version that I actually ended up watching is not as good as what I had in my head, but it's not as good for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it's just not the film I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because, I just heard different things about it. I was like, I just wasn't prepared for it.
It's like one scene of like Cronenbergian-esque horror as well.
Yeah. There is some body horror in it, yeah. But it's all like, it's just glances of it.
Although that bit where he gets the fucking syringe in his head was fucking awful.
Yeah. There's weird imagery in it. I think that's what makes it so kind of, what makes it infamous is because it has just those flashes. And maybe the people who were watching that weren't expecting that. But we were expecting more of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Expectations can ruin a film.
Yeah, stop hyping up films, people.
Everyone stop doing that. Everyone's gonna go watch Blackberry now that I said it's a good film. Like, that film is shit. What are you talking about? It's like fuck all about that.
Doesn't say anything about service.
Yeah. No less about phones now. Oh yeah. Well, we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. What's our recommended film for episode 126?
What film did I say I was going to pick? Fuck, what film?
I actually can't remember.
I can't remember. Oh, shit.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even have to hit pause there because as soon as I hit pause, I remembered. My recommended film for episode 126 will be the classic Japanese horror film The Ring, or Ringu. I think Ringu might be a different film, but The Ring.
Oh.
I think Ringu might be different. I think there's The Ring and also Ringu.
It's
but
not like Hausu.
Let me check. Let me type in Ringu here and see what comes up. Ringu. Oh yeah, okay, right. They're the same thing. Yeah, The Ring, the original film, not the remake from
2002.
Is it Gore Verbinski that makes that movie?
Is it?
Is Gore Verbinski someone?
Yeah. No, you're right. There's the man behind Rango with Johnny Depp, the talking salamander.
I think so. Is it Gore Verbinski? Oh, man can't be stopped. It is.
What? How did you know that?
Because I've seen that movie as well, but I don't know why I remember that Gore Verbinski made that movie. Yeah, so this is the original Japanese film that came out in 1998, 99?
98, yeah.
98. Yeah. So that would be our pick for our Halloween special.
Oh.
Yeah. Get ready for a spooky intro that I'm just going to rip from the last time I did it. I'm going to get fucking demonetized again.
Our third annual.
Yeah. Right. Good night. God bless.
Bye.